Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Well, we can't put it off any longer. There's a fantastic temple for us to go check out, so let's do that. We can swim right across here, we can push X to dash a little faster, and it's okay because we have enough stamina, and we're fine. When we're on stairs, this is not climbing. This is just easy peasy, no stamina lost. Now, something like this, however, is going to use our stamina. So we can jump towards the wall with X and go for it. Now, it is worth noting that when you're about to climb, if you jump up, it doesn't use stamina to jump. So if you can hit the wall at a higher point, you can get higher with because you'll use less stamina than if you just start climbing up from the very bottom. It's just less distance to cover. Uh-oh. Bad boy. Alright, so there is a baddie right here. Let's get our sword out, but I want to use a much better sword than this against this dude. And I'm going to kind of target him. He's got a shield. But even if he has a shield, there you go. Bam. So he had a shield, he was blocking us. But what we're able to do is, after a certain point, you can stagger them by kind of working through their shield. The same way that we can get worked through. But here's a shield. Let's pick it up. It's an old wooden shield, but it looks awesome. An aged, worn-out wooden shield. It can withstand lighter attacks such as arrows. So you can raise your shield with ZL. So once you have the enemy targeted, which is the same button that you'll basically push to raise your shield. You can do that. And what's this? Ooh, rusty broadsword. It's not very good. It's only one better than our stick. But you can see how it says it can do damage in the right hands, but it also breaks quickly because it's all rusty. But we'll take it. We can't carry anymore. Okay, guess what? We're going to drop ourselves a tree branch. And we're going to pick up that rusty broadsword. And I'm going to use it. I don't care that it's going to break. I just want to have a nice, strong weapon equipped because I don't know what's going to happen over here. I already got attacked once. Jiminy. There's a hostile beginning. And I'm just going to look around, see if any of this wreckage has any Zonai charges or anything fun for us. Doesn't look like it. Let's walk right up to the front of this temple. And it's got the handprint. I've got a hand. Magical hand. Let's see if we can open this. Oh, red X. That's a no. That's a locked.
That door will open only to those with sufficient power.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I did not intend to startle you.
You scared me.
It was I that spoke to you earlier. That arm originally belonged to me.
That's fair enough. Raru. Source of the Right Arm. That's a great title.
Forgive me for appearing to you in this manner. Unfortunately, I no longer have a physical form. In any case, that arm should allow you to open this door. It seems to have lost the power to do so. You might be able to restore it, but you would need to enter a place filled with sacred light.
Okay.
Of course. Why not visit the shrines on this island? The shrines. Yes, I'm sure they are the key.
This dude looks awesome, and he's given us a job, and an arm, for that matter. So if we want to get through here to find Princess Zelda, we're going to need to go visit these shrines. Our main quest, the closed door, has been updated, and we can view this by going to the select or minus button and opening up the adventure log. And so right now, we need to do the closed door, and it says, when you tried to open the door to the Temple of Time, Raru appeared and said he was the original owner of your new arm. He also said you need to revitalize the arm so the power of its touch will open the door. To do that, Visit the island's shrines. A green light spirals above each of them. Okay, so we say that's great. And I'm actually going to, I want to make sure that this is selected. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to push B to return. So now that it's selected, we have this marked as our current quest. We need to get back here, which is why the yellow dot is pulsing, but not until we get to the shrines. So you see how there's a shrine right over here. And if I push in R3, I can get out my Purapad camera, and I'm going to just aim right at this, and I'm going to place a pin with the A button. Bam. And so now I'm going to close this up, and I have a pin marked where that shrine is. Let's see if we can see any other shrines. There's one right there. It's very, very clear. They have the green spiraling magic up above them. I could push this and go here, and I will place another pin, and the game automatically selects the next color of pin. So this is a purple beacon. We've got the red beacon placed, okay? And can I see the third shrine from where I stand? We can't see everything here, and there's clouds and there's sunlight, so there might be some things blocking this. But also, what if I go to my map and I zoom out? Notice that here's my map. There's a shrine where I've pinned it. There's another shrine where I've pinned it. And I can pretty much explore this area, the Great Sky Island. So maybe there's something over here that I haven't seen yet. You know, they're probably spaced out. But they, unlike some contemporary games that are open world or whatever, they will just mark exactly where you need to go on the map. And you just kind of run over there. This game does not do it that way. I didn't mean to put that there. My God, what have I done? I've put a pin there that I don't want. Okay. So, we're going to need to explore and find that. Now, what about this shrine? Looks like I can get there if I just go over to the right. So, I will. So, if I head to the west, this will be a place that starts us off on the right journey. We know we need to visit all of these. And by the way, as I'm kind of just looking around here, you'll see that there's all sorts of interesting area that's not related to the quest necessarily, that you can go and try to find things for Link. New weapons, new food items, new crafting things, maybe some new equipment, whatever might be there. And I'm going to fall. I was able to fall that distance without taking damage. You could see right there, there's a bad guy. And sometimes if I'm hurt, you know, I don't have a lot of supplies, I'll just avoid bad guys like that. But other times if I'm feeling gamey, I'll go fight. Now, you can always just go ahead and, you know, save your game if you want before getting into something dangerous. I'm going to pull out my sword. And there's the bad guy up there. Sky Shroom. There's an arrow. A bow would be amazing. I'm going to try to sneak up on this guy. I pushed L3 to sneak. He's facing the other way, you can see. I got him targeted. Now, I killed that guy in one shot. Sneak up on an enemy and unleash a melee attack to do major damage. So, you can see where the enemies are looking. They have a big red eye, and they kind of have a cone of vision that's marked on the map where they're looking. And I was able to sneak up on that guy, push L3 to kind of crouch, sneak. Remember, keep your purple sound bar down. And we wrecked him. And then he had a bow. A wooden bow from the olden days. It's built for hunting, but it's not very powerful. That's okay. So you can attack with a bow by holding the ZR or the right trigger to aim, and then you let go of that to fire. It's interesting, not many games do the controls like that for bows, but it actually works really well because you could keep your sword, you don't have to switch or anything. So if, for example, I just hold down the right trigger, I can aim like this. And you see the number in the aiming reticule at the center of the screen. It says 8. That's how many arrows I have. Also, unlike many games, it does not take stamina to hold your bow. So you can keep your arrow drawn and not worry about your stamina. So you can really, really focus on getting a good shot. Now, if you don't want to fire, you can push the B button to just kind of put your bow down. Otherwise, if you just let go, you're going to fire. So keep that in mind. Now, there's a guy down there. There's an enemy. And you see how, like, on the screen, you can see exactly where he's looking. I can sneak up. And from up high, are there any enemies right up here? No. I can, if I want, try to shoot this guy. And if I aim right for his eyeball, we get a critical hit. He hit us with a rock. That was so rude, but he's dead. So I'm going to stop sneaking and move. If you hit enemies in a weak point, you will get like a crit, and it will like kind of knock them back or stagger them. So that was very, very nice. Now here's a bunch of parts, hooks, platforms, and such, and these are the items that make this game so sensational in my opinion, but we can't use them yet. We need to go to the shrines to get our powers online. Right now we can't do much. Just a regular fighter with a bow and arrow, sword and shield. We need to get some more stuff. So let's pick up all these arrows. You'll see them everywhere. A lot of the time you can harvest your arrows. Sometimes they will be mulched, which means you lose them. But always get as many arrows as you can. Sometimes I feel like I never can have enough arrows in this game because I run out of them a lot. I love to shoot things. I love to fight from range. Here we go. This guy dropped us a horn and a Zonai charge, and he did drop a wooden stick, which I want. Oh, but if I push right on the directional pad right now, I'm actually moving between my bows. So I need to actually push Y and then push right to go back to my weapons. I will drop this tree branch with X, and then I will go over to this wooden stick and pick it up. Not as good as my rusty broadsword, but more durable. All right, and then if we want, we can hold B and push X and jump over and only swim for just a little bit. Let's get a quick refresher. All right, and we're going up these steps. And again, look on the map. Where I've pinned this shrine, we can easily see it. Now check this out. This is actually pretty cool. The stairs end, but on the wall, growing, is something that we don't know. It's called a rushroom. And this, you can eat for a half a heart, but it says cook it before eating to temporarily increase your movement speed. So these are great because they'll let you for a certain amount of time, depending on the potency of the concoction that you brew, just move faster. And who doesn't want to just move faster? All right, so we'll go over here, and we'll jump up, and we can jump over here. Going to pick up this rushroom here, and just slide along the wall. No worries. By the way, yes, even if you're moving down or moving to the side, it still takes stamina to do anything on the wall. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to push B to drop down. Here's some other wooden materials. Just make a note of that. And the staircase, this old Zonai staircase is wrecked, so we're just going to jump up on the wall and use Link's incredible climbing ability to get over here to the Ukao Shrine. And I'm just going to jump up. I don't need to use the steps. I can climb. And look at that dragon. Just chilling, flying around. And there is the other shrine that we have marked. Can we see? There it is. I'm going to push R3 and look over here. And I'm going to mark this shrine. You'll notice that I marked it red. And that is because when you reach a beacon that you have left on the map, it disappears. You can replace it if you want, but if you're there, it will just clear the beacon away. So now we have all 3 shrines that we need to go to marked, and we kind of have a game plan. Let's go into the first shrine. Let's touch the door. Awesome. Let's go. All right. So we pass through and enter a shrine, and Rauru is waiting for us. So you've made it here. This is a shrine of light. Long ago, I filled these places with light that purges evil. I believe this light will restore an ability your right arm has lost. So a lot of the powers that Link has have been lost, as you see. We lost all of our hearts and everything like that. But we're now talking about Rauru's powers from his arm, and we can power these back up by coming to these shrines. Shrines are the meat and potatoes of Zelda in the modern incantation since Breath of the Wild. They all provide some kind of puzzle or challenge for you to conquer in exchange for a reward, and they are super fun and all different. There's more shrines in the game than you actually need to go to, but in my opinion, I love going to them. And you can use any shrine that you visit and go inside as a teleporter, so you can always fast travel across the map by going to shrines that you visited. So just as a logistical thing, it's great to get shrines. Now then, extend your hand. Look at this. Just by coming in here, sometimes you get a power right away. What's that? Sinks into our arm. We just got a new ability called Ultra Hand. Grab and move objects, rotate them, and stick them to other objects. This power in and of itself is so amazing. You'll see in just a moment, but what it basically does is let Link play with Legos with every item that you can pick up in the game. It's such a cool thing. And it's like, as soon as I got this and I was playing this game for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness. You know, they've really thought of something fun to do. This is the Ultra Hand ability. It allows you to move objects freely and attach them to other objects. With it, you will be able to build a great number of things. Really anything you can imagine. Use Ultra Hand and receive the blessing from this shrine. Alright, so we can activate this power by using the left bumper. The ability to create. That's what we've just been given. So in the shrine, you'll notice in the bottom right, the minimap is gone. You still have a temperature and sound gauge. And now, in the upper right, we have hearts. Then we have our ability, which is Ultra Hand, that red hand, which is selected, followed by the contextual facepad buttons, which now include a shield and a sword for right and left on the D-pad, and up on the D-pad is going to give us our items that we can use. Now, if I use... Let me move over here. If I hold the L button, just tap it. Sorry, you don't need to hold it. Just tap the L button. Then the screen looks like this. The hand starts to glow green. You get an aiming reticule, and this orange reddish light begins to pulse out from underneath Link. And every object that we can interact with glows this kind of orangey yellow. So if I point at this beam, or this like plank, basically, it's kind of like a wooden platform, or maybe it's stone, I can pick this up with the A button. And then you'll see that I hold my hand out toward it, like a big beam of energy and magical power extends to it. It starts to have these concentric pulsing green circles on it, meaning I have it selected. And I can now move this thing with the right analog stick, up and down. I can push forward, toward me, backward on the D-pad. This is a stone platform, by the way, to move it toward me, and then forward on, or up on the D-pad, rather, to move it away from myself. And I can rotate it by holding the right bumper. And this allows you to use the D-pad to, like, rotate it along its horizontal axis, or the up and down on the D-pad to rotate it along its vertical axis. So you can manipulate this in amazing ways. And as long as you have Ultra Hand held, Link will just hold this up in the air. It takes no stamina. You can do this as long as you want. And now we're getting into the puzzle solving of Zelda. What do we need to do? Well, there's a chasm in front of us. There's like a pit. We need to cross this. This is something you will do so much in Tears of the Kingdom, which is you need to make a bridge. So I'm going to hold right bumper, and I'm going to rotate this by pushing left on the directional pad, just moving this around clockwise on the horizontal axis, and I'm going to move forward. Now you see how below this platform that I'm holding, there is a green outline. That is showing you where this will land if I release the platform or if I lower it. So this helps you aim it. So if I just lower it by pushing down, getting the analog stick to drop it down, and then let's just say I push B to cancel this. It drops down, gravity affects it, and look at that. I've built a little bridge across this pit, and if I walk over, you get the iconic Zelda music indicating you've just solved the puzzle. Welcome to Zelda. This is what they want you to do. So much of this game requires that you use your brain to think about what powers that Link has and how can I solve the problems that this shrine or dungeon is presenting using those powers. You will learn ways to add on to your power suite, to combine powers, and you will become a master problem solver in this game. Again, similar situation. We have a large pit to cross, but this one will not be done with just one of these stone platforms. I need two. And remember, Rauru said I can stick things together with my new power. So let's examine how to do that, because it's one of the coolest things that we can do is actually build things with this Ultra Hand and make giant bridges. I spend so much of my time in this game making giant bridges or giant ladders and things. So what I like to do when I need to combine some items with my Ultra Hand is I'm first just going to push the left bumper, and I'm going to select this platform with A, and I'm going to move it over here and just kind of drag it to give me some space, and I'm going to let go with B. And then this other one, I'm going to get close enough, because there's a limit on, you have to actually be close enough to the item. Even if you can aim at it, you need to be within range. Once it turns green, you can get it. I push A to grab it. Now I'm going to move over here, and I need to kind of rotate this so that it is, not like that, flat on the ground. There we go. Sometimes you'll have to play with this. It rotates relative to Link's position, so sometimes you'll think I'm just trying to flip it up or rotate it, 90 degrees or whatever, but if you are oriented at an angle relative to the piece like I am, it can be a little wonky, so you just have to play with this, and eventually you'll get it to be the position that you want. Now, I'm going to just drop it down, and I'm going to rotate it like this, and then I'm going to just kind of slide this over and move. Now, I don't have to be so far away. I can actually just leave it like this and use the directional pads to drag it close to me. And now, as you can see, look between them. You see that kind of green super glue that appears? If it's close enough, this glue will show up, and then the contextual buttons on the screen will tell you that you can push A to attach them. Now, you want to make sure that the glue is in the place that you actually want it to be for proper attachment. So if I put it right here, bam, you see that they seal together exactly as I intended. There's just a big seam of this kind of Ultra Hand super glue between these two platforms. And now, if I pick this up, I could select one side or the other. It does not matter. Now look at this. I am picking up the whole thing. Now, this gets a little bit wonky sometimes with the camera because you can't quite see everything because you have this giant thing. But this is exactly what we wanted. So I am going to move this away from myself, and I'm just going to push up on the directional pad and then use right on the analog stick a bit and line it up so that underneath this giant platform that I have, the green shadow outline is telling me that there is going to be some on this side of the gap and some on the other side of the gap overhanging. enough so that this platform does not fall into the chasm, and I'll push B to drop it. It's not straight, but it doesn't have to be. Look at that. It works out just fine. I'm going to walk over, and we get the music, meaning we did it, and here we are. Now, something else I want to show you is if I pick this up, and I've got it, notice how in the bottom of the heads-up display there are some commands. It'll tell you what you can do with the power. You can push up and down to move it forward and backward, of course. You can push B to drop it down. You can push right bumper to rotate it. But also, you can shake the right analog stick if you have pieces that you've stuck together to break them apart. You'll see the glue, the bond that has connected them is broken if I shake that right analog stick left and right, back and forth. And now I can freely reposition these and reattach these. So you have unlimited ability to attach, reattach. But if this falls off a cliff and you can't reach it, well, that's a problem. So you got to be mindful of that. But this thing did not do that. So you could do some pretty funky things here. Like I can rotate this if I want and get it going just kind of straight up and down. And then I could just, just for argument's sake, I could just attach it right here and make this like block into a T section and then just pick this up and walk around with it. You can walk with the left analog stick, or you can move it around up and down, kind of left and right with the right analog stick. Just play with the controls to get used to moving these things, and then you could just drop it right here and start to build your dream house. I'm going to move on from that and show you, indeed, there's the end of the shrine. So every shrine will have a destination that you're trying to get to, and that's kind of the indication that you have completed the objectives of the shrine, solved its puzzles and challenges, and you get the reward when you get to that bluish green magical swirly. So to do that, I need to figure out a way to get across this very large gap, and I don't have enough platforms to connect them all to make some giant bridge. I need to figure out how to use this rail. This is something that we're going to do a lot. And in Zelda, look around. This game is very, very wise and intentional. Look up there. It's giving you a hint. The hint is, as we watch, you see there's a platform that has a hook that's attached to it that's sliding along, kind of like a ski lift. And that is our clue. And then over here, if I look at the wall, you'll see that there are these balls that are hanging down that have a hook attached to it, dangling. That's another clue. So the game won't outright tell you. It wants you to use your brain, and it wants you to figure it out. Once you start to understand the logic of Zelda, what the game is asking you to do, these puzzles will become a lot easier, which is good, because they become increasingly difficult. Some of them are so opaque that even I don't understand them, or get what they're trying to do, or quite understand exactly what's going on, and that's okay. I just do my best to solve the ones that I'm looking for. And if you ever get stuck, you can quickly, Google any of these shrines by name, and you will find a solution online, lickety-split. But the best thing to do, in my opinion, as a Zelda player, is to start figuring out how to intuit these so that you can solve them on your own. All right, so we saw the clue. I'm going to push left bumper to pick up this platform. And I'm going to kind of just slide this, and I'm going to use the rotation to get this going so that I can, oh boy, sometimes, there we go. It takes me a second to get it oriented the way that I want. And I'm just going to drag this and put it right down here and let go. Right underneath that. And then I'm going to grab a hook. Now, often the game will give you more pieces than you need. I don't need 2 hooks, but I could use it if I wanted, but I'm not going to. Next step is I'm going to rotate this hook and just hang it, moving it so that I hang it from this rail. I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to attach it. And look at that. If I do that, oh boy, it starts to immediately slide. So be careful of the fact that the gravity and inertia will grab this, and this will, it's tilted just enough to engender movement in this hook, even if there's nothing attached to it. So be careful, don't attach it, or it'll slide away. Now, usually in this game, if an object that you need to solve the puzzle slides and falls into a place that you can't reach, it will kind of like disappear and respawn so that you can use it again. But instead, let's do it this way. Let's attach it to our platform first. All right, so it's locked onto our platform right there. And then I'm going to grab the platform, and I'm going to move this. I have to kind of slide it out from under, raise it up, and then bring it this way, all the way over here, and I'm going to let it go. And immediately, I'm going to climb up onto this by jumping up, because look at this. Our platform is sliding down the rail, and we made it. And you can jump off, walk right over here to the end of the shrine, and touch the portal, bam, with your hand. This reveals a statue. You have done well to reach this place. Now take a look at how these people appear. Looks like a Hylian woman and one of the sky people on the right. And whenever you complete the shrine, you get this blessing of light. And this orb is an item you need to exchange for powering up Link. It also, as you see when you touch it, it kind of goes into you, and it slowly powers away and seeps away some of the darkness and evil that's been corrupted into you from the demon that you fought. We got the Light of Blessing. It's a crystal that glows, and you see in the upper right we have one of these now, with a light that purges ancient evil and purifies with its radiance. Awesome. May the Light of Blessing grant you the strength that you seek. Thank you. Okay, so from here, we have a loading screen. It's talking about skydiving. And on this screen in the upper right, you can see some stats for yourself. They disappeared really quickly, but it tells you how much stamina you have, how much health you have, how many Korok seeds you have, how many Light of Blessing you have. You did very well getting through that shrine, and you've restored an ability. This is wonderful. If you visit and complete 2 more shrines, you should be able to open the door to the Temple of Time. You may want to mark the shrines in the distance with pins. Then you'll never lose track of where they are, which we've already done. Thank you. The Purapad offers you a very useful scope. It's quite handy. How does Ramu know about the Purapad? Don't know, don't care. It's super helpful. And as we saw, you press R3 to activate the scope, and then you place a pin with the A button. We're at Great Sky Island, and we now know the location of the other 2 shrines. One is way out there, and one is this way, where the red pin is, straight ahead. So, in all honesty, the red one looks a little bit easier for me to get to. Okay, and I'm just looking around. You'll see right outside the shrine, this blue circle, this is our teleporter if we need it. Is there a quick way? I could jump down if I want and just go into the water, but does that go where I want? It sure does. How do I know? I'm looking at the map out there, I see the shrine, and I see that that rail connects this right floating island. And we just learned how to make a mode of transportation for the rails. This is something that's great about the game. It teaches you a technique, and then you get to kind of figure out where in the world or in other shrines you need to repeat that technique to solve any problems that are presented. So I'm going to jump right into the water, dive down here, quick way down, and we're going to get out. Now, I am free to move right up here. So I'm going to hold B and I'm going to run. And we'll just climb up here. And I'm out of stamina, so let me let go of B before I get exhausted. And I'll just run up here. So excited because I know how to do this. Again, the game is going to give you way more pieces than you actually need. You can make a giant transport if you want, or you can be very, very minimal. I like to use the least amount of tools necessary, and I'm going to say, all right, I want to rotate this thing, so let me face it toward myself, and then we'll just kind of flip it over, and I'll rotate it so that it is working, yes, just like this. I'm going to attach it to this. Now, just know that you can't lift something up. Like, I cannot lift up this platform while Link is standing on it. So you can't, like, defy physics and gravity. I mean, you have magical powers which kind of do that, but you can't do it that crazy. You can't lift yourself up. So you have to actually lift this up and then place it. But you want to do so in a fashion, I'm going to push B, that you can actually run over here and push X and jump on. Because here it goes, and here we go. And we're sliding down, and we're moving fast. All right. And we've made it. There's a friendly construct over there. That appears to be some kind of green ghost. Maybe that's Ramu standing there. And we have made it to a new section of the Great Sky Island. Oh, look at that. There's like a kind of a raft that's been built here that has a sail on it. It is indeed Raru. I keep saying Ramu. Excuse me, it's Raru. Raru. I see that they're still at work, even now. We originally created the constructs to assist in our endeavors. All of us were fond of them. I never imagined they would continue to carry out their assigned tasks to this day. The fact that their labor no longer serves any purpose, yet they perform it still, it is disquieting to me. Yeah, it's too bad that they have to work interminably. That's not ideal for them. So he's just kind of like puzzling over their labor. And, ooh, we get something new, a stone axe. Let's talk to this guy. Fix your gaze forward. Face it head on. Pardon me, I was absorbed in my woodcutting. Are you here for woodcutting too? Woodcutting? Woodcutting is the practice of chopping down trees to create logs. Logs can be combined to assemble platforms. You can also chop them down further to make wood. Lumber has many uses. That is why I come here daily to chop wood. And yet I still find it difficult to chop them down in the intended direction. Indeed. That is why you may have heard me muttering to myself, fix your gaze forward, face it head on. I apologize. I've been rambling for some time. There is an axe I no longer need over there. It is yours to use if you want to do some woodcutting. Oh my, has it grown so late already? I must have failed to notice the time bell. I will rest for today. So they're on a schedule. Forever. And he leaves, or they leave. There's a fire here if we want to roast some stuff. And what are these? These are bundles of wood. Pick these up. Take the axe. We can't carry anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and drop myself one of these tree branches, and I pick up this axe. Now we have a stone axe, and I'm just going to walk around, looking around. It appears that there is another axe right here. I want this, so I'm going to drop the final tree branch that I have and get this. Now, this is a log, and I can't pick this up, but I can with Ultra Hand. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here, and I'm going to select my axe. And let's talk about woodcutting. So with an axe selected, I can hit this tree. 1, 2, 3. It's down. Oh, I got a little acorn. And add it to a meal for nutty seasoning. And there we go. We got a log just like that. So with an axe, you can easily cut down any of these trees. 3 shots, it falls, you get the acorn, and it turns into a log. And you can use these logs to, as the game is showing us, build something like this raft if we want. You can also, I'll pick up this wood, cleanly bust open this crate and get some arrows. And see this log? If I hit it with the axe, I could just turn it into a portable bundle of wood for myself. This is something we can get a Zonai charge from. And, there's fireflies. Oh, there's some apples on this tree if we want it. Now watch this. What if I chop down the tree that has apples on it? Apples fall down. Easy way to get apples and a little bit of wood. Tremendous. Okay. Now I'm looking and I'm pointing towards the red pin. I see that I need to get this way. Well, there is a bit of a gap that I need to cover. So how can I do that? Well, why don't I do my favorite thing? Make an insanely long bridge. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to move it over here. And I'm going to use Ultra Hand left bumper to grab this, and I'm going to kind of line these up, and I'm going to attach them at the end. Here we go. Grab this, slide it over here, attach it on the end. I'm going to grab another one, like this, slide it over, and I'm going to attach it at the end. Now this is 4 segments long. Is this long enough? Let's find out. I'm going to pick up the whole thing using Ultra Hand, and I'm going to stand like this, and I'm going to kind of just rotate and get this away from me until I can... Here we go. There we go. Perfect orientation. See, is this long enough? It looks like it hits the other side and this side. I'll drop it. And indeed, we've made a bridge that's long enough. That's how you can always measure before you put it down. And now we made it across. Awesome. There's a fire over there. I'm getting closer to the shrine over here. And, ooh, look at this. What's over there? Can I reach that? This platform is actually movable with Ultra Hand. If I use Ultra Hand, you notice how, if I'm not looking at it, it's orange, meaning I can select it. You can move these things around. And you can place this in such a fashion that you can get over here. I'm going to put it right here and let go. And you see how the side of this kind of floating platform has almost like a wire grate on it? Link can climb this. So if I run and I jump, he will climb on the side of this. And I can use this to get over here. And indeed, there is a treasure chest in here. This is what we're doing. We are exploring. We are using the environment to look around. What do we get? We got amber. This is an amazing item for selling for money and for something else that we'll talk about when we get there. I'm going to switch over to a wooden stick that I care less about. Axes are really, really valuable because cutting down trees is super useful. I'm going to pick up this Zonai charge. Notice how if I go to try to chop down the tree with this branch, for example, it doesn't do anything. It does knock down the apple, but it doesn't chop down the tree. You need something stronger to chop down the tree, so don't waste your axe durability on combat. At least I like to try to save them just for gathering wood if I can. Okay, I'm just going to kind of walk around here and see if there's anything else that I missed. We can jump up, explore. No, that looks good. We got some amber, which is a nice little treasure. And then I can jump up here, and I'm going to run with B and then just jump with X to get down here. And then there is a nice little fire over here. I'm going to run over and explore. There's a construct here. And this construct has a bow and wants to talk to us about archery. He says, "Quiet, I'm engaged in hunting." Hunting? Yes, I hunt wild creatures that inhabit the forest. I do not remember seeing you here before. We constructs fulfill several roles. One is to provide any necessary explanations to newcomers, such as yourself. Other constructs you meet will be able to answer questions you may have about other subjects. My specialty is hunting. To hunt is to dispatch wild creatures. Many of them dwell within this forest. They are highly nutritious to organic life. They are also extremely wary. A hunter must not make noise. Crouching is essential for silence, so they tell you can push L3 to crouch. A bow can be used to strike from afar. Aiming for weak spots is best. I will give you the bow placed over there. Use it as you please. Time has passed while I hunted. I seem to have failed to hear the time bell. I will rest now. Let me know if I am needed, but do so quietly. Okay. So he gives us some arrows, 10 of them in fact, and another bow. All right, so we've already gotten this tooltip before because we found a bow earlier. Now I'm going to go ahead and crouch down. In this tall grass, we're even harder to see, and I'm going to use this. Well, they saw me. I was not hard to see because they're wary. So I moved too close. All right, no problem. So let's just wait for these guys to stop moving, which they will eventually, or not. Oh, that was close. Hi. Okay, that was bad hunting, but we got the meat. Raw meat. I'm using my stick. Got it. Hit it in the head. So that's not normally how you hunt, but it worked. And we got a bunch of raw meat, which we can, of course, cook here to improve. So I'll just push up. I'll select the raw meat. Oops. I will select it. And, oh, no, can't do it like that. Oh, my God, my bow. It's on fire. Now, this is actually good. The arrow is on fire. So I could fire this, for example, at the tree. And, you know, have a flaming arrow go at that tree. Probably not going to burn it down, but cool. But remember, we need to actually go, and I'm going to put away my bow by pushing B. And I'm going to go to the fire, and I'm just going to kind of push over here. And I'm going to just select this meat, and I'm going to hold it. I'm going to go back to the game, and I'm going to drop it right next to the fire. And you can see it sizzling. Wait. It's burning. And what happened? Seared steak. 1.5 hearts. Heck yeah. Great. And up here, always, bust open anything that you can. And guess what? Our wooden stick is no good at breaking these things open. So use your axe to break open these containers. Get a bunch of arrows, which is terrific. And heck yeah. There we go. Awesome. So now we've done some hunting the non-sneaky way. We're chopping down trees. We got axes. We beat the first shrine. And we're moving toward the second shrine. There's Raru up there waiting for us. Everyone, I think this is a good place to end the second episode to our beginner's guide to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I hope you're still finding this to be useful and fun. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I read every comment and I'd love to help you out with the game. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.